Welcome back. I'm Nicole Petalides here at the NASDAQ on a beautiful Thursday afternoon, and you are tuned in to the Watch List. Thanks for joining us. Today for our Stock Spotlight, we're joined by Lou Schwartz, CEO of Frankly Media, to run down and take a look at Roku and all the other streaming providers. It's a battle, and Lou, I know you know this best. I mean, what's your first thought out of the gate when you think of the competition?
Well, thanks for having me, Nicole. I mean, I think the first thing that comes to mind is that, the pie's not getting any bigger, and there's increasingly sort of more, participants vying for audience. And so, when you have the introduction of Comcast's Flex platform and Facebook sort of announcing, their, a streaming offering, it just makes you feel like the market's just getting increasingly sort of more competitive, for eyeballs, and folks like sort of Roku that had a commanding sort of presence are just going to see increasing pressure from other providers.
And I know folks continue to cut the cord. They're looking for alternatives. They have the ability to get multiple streaming services for less than what their cable company would have charged them over the last decade, right? So when you talk about Roku and Roku Express and Roku Ultra and some of these new services from Roku, what is your thought on the Roku game?
Listen, I think Roku has sort of a dominant position, right? They were the earliest sort of market mover in the streaming space. They continue to dominate. They were first to offer sort of an advertising, solution, and they're going to continue to defend sort of their turf by sort of adjusting to, this competitive dynamic with a number of other service providers. Well, let me ask you this.
So yesterday we saw Roku drop double digits in percentage terms, all on the idea that Comcast was coming out and going to give its Xfinity box for free with the subscribers, with the services. How much of that is a really big deal for Roku?
I think it's a really big deal. I think when you see sort of the pay TV operators like Comcast remove the walled garden, right, and start offering content, from content owner direct to consumer in the same format as Roku, and using sort of their broadband connectivity as the utility, it's a direct threat, right, to sort of Roku. Similarly, you see sort of Facebook, putting sort of the gauntlet down and saying we're going to offer a pay TV solution as well, and using sort of the mobile device as their utility, which provides much, deeper sort of granular data about the end user, right? Enabling them to drive higher yield and optimization from advertisers.
I'm going to ask you in a moment, Lou, about which ones are likely to do the best over the next 5 years, because people want to, put their money where they think the winners will be, whether it's Apple or Disney or, or the others. But before I get to some of your favorites in the group, I wanted to ask you about content, because content is king, right? So Netflix lost Friends, but got Seinfeld. You have Big Bang going over to HBO Max. You have Jennifer Aniston on, Apple or whatever. But this is the spending, billions and billions of dollars in spending for content, right?
Absolutely.
How's that going?
And that's the scary part of the equation. And I think it's the piece that most analysts sort of ignore, is Apple and Facebook and Google are sitting on huge sort of war chests. And when they start sort of flexing, their war chests to obtain, early window rights, for premium content, and being able to outspend the competition to secure, premium rights for Seinfeld, right, or for an Office, or for another sort of premium syndicated series, the stakes go up sort of, astronomically.
What did you find? I don't have that much time left, so I'm going to interrupt you, because I know you did a survey, right? So what did your survey find?
So we didn't do sort of a direct survey, but we reviewed sort of the work that sort of Roku did. With respect to the number of streamers exceeding sort of pay TV subscribers by 2024. And we think that's a pretty sort of compelling stat. One, it helps sort of advance companies like us, like Frankly, that sort of underpin the infrastructure of enabling content owners to take content to direct to consumer. I don't think cord cutting is going to slow down anytime soon. And you're going to see sort of, the folks like, you're going to see the folks like sort of, Roku, pay TV operators begin to offer competitive solutions, right, that don't have packaged content, that enable content to flow freely between content owner and consumer.
Just a yes or no. Disney, Apple, Netflix, all winners in streaming in 5 years from now?
I think the biggest success story is going to come from the provider who has sort of the best first-party data. And
all right.
so,
okay, Lou Schwartz. Yeah, Apple. All right. Thank you so much, CEO of Frankly Media. Thanks, Lou Schwartz, very much. Thank you.